No Limits, episode 111. And on this episode, Bree loves Days Gone. Yay! Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor, and you're listening to No Limits, a PlayStation podcast. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Brianna and Sam. Welcome back, Brianna.
Thank you.
Where were you?
I decided to take the week off because I wanted to focus on writing.
All right. Did you write?
I did.
Oh, hell yeah. What'd you write about?
Words?
Is it safe for work?
No, I only write not safe for work stories. Okay. That's my focus.
Oh, good.
I focus solely on literotica and nothing else.
All right. I thought, Subnautica, that's what you said.
Yeah, Subnautica and literotica can very easily be confused.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
Both have lots of tentacles.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Okay. Well, Hermes Mora, Skyrim, Dragonborn DLC, am I right? Okay. We can find the video version of this podcast over on youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia every Tuesday. And while you're over there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you would rather listen to audio, we are on all your favorite podcast services, and we would love it if you could leave us a review. It helps us grow, and we would love any feedback. If you want to support us and get early access to all Save the Game Media content, head over to patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia and choose the tier that's right for you. Just like our current patrons did, Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Brianna's brother, Lindsay, Nikolai Knight, Cypher Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus Neal, Lillian, Mimi J, David Hodright, Dave Harp, the Xbox Expansion Pass, Alpaca Tom, Lee Navarro, Sil Cannon, Ellery Woods Parker III, Shelby Massey, Chad and Rick Davis. And interact with us in the Discord. Links are all in the show notes. How we doing, Krusty Crew?
I feel like I don't look that crusty.
No, you're right. You know, in SpongeBob, they say Krusty Crew, but no one really looks crusty. Because everyone looks
sometimes
smooth.
Patrick does. I guess he's not part of the crew, but...
You're right. Or maybe he looks a little sandy. Not the character sandy, but Patrick looks sandy.
Aren't we missing the forest for the trees here? Because it's specifically because they work at the Krusty Krab.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, but we
he's
don't
not
work
referring to them as Krusty.
I mean, but it kind of is, right?
I mean, no.
That's the joke.
You know, the SpongeBob Halloween special goes really hard. I'm thinking about Halloween lately, guys.
I wonder why.
It's witch season.
I really love Scooby-Doo Ghoul School. I feel like that's more of like a Christmas movie, but
I love Christmas movies too.
So,
you know, I watched Scooby-Doo and the Skytown Ghoul School. There you go. Oh wait, that's new. Came out a few years ago.
Ghoul School is old then. That must be like a new thing.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. Anyway. Wait.
Did you watch the new Beetlejuice, either of you?
No, I tried watching the original for the first. I wanted to, but I wanted to watch the original first. Then I started trying to watch the original, and I'm like, I don't like this that much.
What? Oh, the original's so good. We just watched the original. Like, we watched it on a Friday, and then we watched the new one on like the Sunday after.
I don't know. It feels like it'd be a lot more fun to watch with people.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't know. On my own, I'm like, I should be liking this. I should be liking the very much tongue-in-cheek practical effects makeup. Those are impressive. Maybe I should approach it more as like a slightly mature Disney movie than a movie. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not supposed to be serious by any means.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Sam, have you seen the original?
Yeah.
Of course he has. Of course.
Sam's seen every movie.
Sam has seen every movie.
That's not true.
I drink your milkshake.
Okay.
So there will be blood reference. So Bill Hader clips kept popping up on my YouTube yesterday. One of them was a skit where he was playing on the Food Network, and it was a show where he was playing Daniel from There Will Be Blood. And Amy Poehler was playing his son, and Bill Bill Hader just kept walking around tables saying, "I drink your milkshake," and getting a giant straw and drinking everyone's milkshake. What, guys? It's funny. That's the last time SNL was great, okay? Stop yelling at me.
I don't really like SNL, to be honest, but
Wow.
I don't hate
Sam,
it
save
either.
me.
It's just
Oh, sorry. You think anybody outside of America watches SNL?
Yes. You're British. You're adjacent.
Yeah, see, but the difference is that Brits actually do comedy well, so we watch like anything else.
How's the UK office working for you?
I mean, it's interesting that the Americans had to copy us because they have no original ideas. Because of course,
Where did the British get it from? They stole it and put it in their museums, didn't they?
Sure, but you know, you decided you were better off without us over there, and how's that going? You know.
not well.
If Kamala wins this November,
Still won't be going well.
it'll be better than
Still
horrible.
won't be going well.
That's my stipulation. If Kamala wins in November, it might be better than. Oh, did I just endorse a presidential candidate on my non-political podcast? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's not getting edited out. Sorry. There's going to be that one commenter who's like,
We barely get any commenters.
This isn't a
political podcast.
Political podcast. This isn't a news network.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I got political stickers on my PlayStation, and
Ooh.
yeah.
Stinky. Anyway, how are you guys? How are you guys doing?
How am I doing, Luna? I'm doing okay. I am a tiny bit tired. I stayed up late finishing fan fiction last night.
Ooh, finishing reading one or writing one?
Finishing reading one. I wish I could write fan fiction. That would be crazy.
That's crazy.
Okay. It wasn't too long. It was only like, I think it was like 700 pages. So it wasn't like too bad. I just read it in the one day, but around like 75% of the way through, like the person took a sharp nosedive, and I was like, damn, for what? I got really mad. So
Nosedive is in the quality of the story just dropped
they
off.
just made a really poor decision in like in the fan fiction.
So like the writer made a poor artistic decision, or the character made a bad decision within the context of the story?
No, the writer made a poor decision that kind of changed how some of the world magic worked. And
have you considered finding them on social media and writing an angry note?
I have considered that, and I immediately dismissed it.
Good. I assume this was Harry Potter.
It was basically a rewrite of the 7th book and part of the 7th book. Not the whole thing. And she decided that Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem would work similarly to the resurrection stone. So like Draco died in the fiend fire, but because he was holding the diadem, nothing happened to him. Like he was resurrected like at the same time as Harry. It was really dumb. Anyways. So I did not like that decision. But yeah.
Interesting. Do you think there would be as much Harry Potter fanfic as there is if J.K. Rowling wasn't a bad person?
I do think there would be fan fiction either way. However, I don't think that the fan fiction would be maybe as popular as it is if she wasn't horrible. Part of the thing is that like people feel like they can no longer, and like I would mostly agree, feel that they can no longer enjoy the books and like enjoy the movies and stuff like that, which kind of leaves you with not much to enjoy this world that you kind of grew up with. And so, yeah, a lot of people turn to the fan fictions because it's a way that you can interact with the fandom without supporting hateful people. Luna, if you play with this necklace again and tangle it again, I'm going to be really mad. I just untangled part of it. And she's like, let me play with it again. Anyways, so yeah, so I do think like there's a lot of people like that, you know, will specifically write one of the characters as like a trans character or something like that, just to kind of, you know, it's a way to heal, let the world heal from people being horrible. So, yes, that is my answer.
Fair enough.
Sam?
How we doing, Mr. Dark over there? The light is dark. I'm not complimenting on Sam's race. No, that's all I'm saying.
I'm not great. Yeah, just been struggling is an extreme phrase to use, but the closest to struggling I've been in a while.
I'm sorry.
Not for any particular reason necessarily, just generally. Nothing's gone wrong.
Is it because you don't have more Astrobot to play?
Yeah, yes, of course. That is the main contributing factor. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm doing all right. Just very, very flat and sort of lethargic, which happens from time to time with everyone. Nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, so I don't want to make a big deal about it. I'm just sort of not on top form. I'll say that.
Okay. Well,
Cowabummer, dude.
sorry.
So you asked. So
yeah, I want to know how you're doing. Actually, no. The only thing I value for is being on this podcast. That's it.
That's right. Of course. Yeah. Unspoken truth. Yeah. But
Your
That's so
well-being
true.
is irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
We produce for the 5, 10.
As Save the Game Media's HR for the people, I have complaints about your phrasing.
HR for the people. These are two diametrically opposed words. HR and for the phrases. HR and for the people. I don't know about that one.
Oh, trust me, I know. There was some real bad drama at my work, and HR went crazy. It was intense, you guys. I'll have to tell you offline, but it was crazy.
Sorry, I forgot to ask. Have you guys been playing any games too?
Sam, do you want to go first on this one?
What your answer is.
Well, I mean, as the representative of somebody that is playing video games on this podcast, I think you should go first.
Astro Booty.
No, I'm not playing Astrobot currently. I will get back to it soon, just to sort of feel something again. But I have left that for the time being. I think I said last week that I had jumped back into the original Watch Dogs.
Right.
And I saw that through. I said at the time I wasn't going to platinum it, but I realized there was like 3, I think, very easy, or not very easy, but somewhat easy trophies that I was missing because I played a lot of it when it first launched. So I thought, why not? I'm here now. Cleaned it up, so I did. That didn't take me too long. Trying to think if I played anything else. Oh, I went into Secret Agent Clank, which was one of the, I think, premium titles. I don't. Yeah, because it's a PSP game, so it wouldn't be available on the lower tiers. That was a game I used to play the living hell out of on PSP back in the day. Not one of the best Ratchet and or Clank games by any metric, but it's a bit of, it's dumb fun spin-off. so I'm partway through that. And the only other thing I've been playing is the Plucky Squire.
The now controversial Plucky Squire.
And obviously is available for people on PlayStation Plus, Extra and Premium. Yeah, I think I'm on chapter 7 of 10. And when I tell you that I don't think I've been more disappointed and simultaneously frustrated with a game in years.
Wow.
I'm in the midst of it, so I don't want to speak prematurely, but I think that depending on how because I will see it through, because otherwise it'll just infuriate me that I don't see it through to the end. But if it doesn't improve, which Kev has suggested it doesn't, I don't want to poo-poo anybody, but I might personally actually verge on saying it's a bad game, which I never would have expected. Everyone's been hyping it up for years, and every time we've seen it, it looks excellent. But in execution, it just doesn't come together. I think that Brandon made an interesting point that his kid was really enjoying it. And I think that for children, this could be like a really interesting gateway kind of game.
The gateway drug.
Yeah, into games in general, platformers or puzzle games or whatever. It's very inviting. It's got a very sort of it's a literal storybook thing, so that could be inviting to young kids.
I mean, Village did that.
If you if you aren't like the most patient of people, this game is just going to drive you up the wall, because it stops you every 5 seconds with this slow, very lovely narrator voice, and it's got unskippable little cutscene things, and there's just tons of dialogue of all the characters talking to one another about absolutely nothing, and it just stops the gameplay every 5-10 seconds, and the gameplay that is there is relatively vapid and one note, and all of the concepts that it introduces about the 2D into 3D stuff, that's cool. Like it's what they showed you in the trailers, but they never really do anything interesting with it, or they certainly haven't yet up through chapter 7. Yeah, I'm kind of baffled really at how much I really don't like this game, because everything about it pre-release seemed to be like a surefire hit, and the reviews are relatively good for this game. I think it's like an 85, which I think is at least 10 points too high in my opinion. But I'm glad that people like it, or some people like it, but it's really, 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 really not for me, which is gutting.
So what I'm hearing is everybody just go play Astrobot again.
Yeah, do that. You'll have a better time.
Wow.
I'm glad you said something, because I don't have patience, and it sounds like the game really would have pissed me off. So sounds like
I think
it'd be worth my time to do a different game instead.
Yeah, if it didn't interrupt you all the time, the sort of vapidness of the gameplay wouldn't be that much of an issue. But because it presents you with like these relatively simplistic puzzles, and the combat is just basically button mash, hit a thing a couple of times. There's lots of different enemy types, but none of them require really any strategy. You can just button mash. It's the interrupting that which just makes it truly infuriating. It's like, if you just let me whistle stop through this game, that's very easy, you know, and you just tell me a story, but it's not interruptive, but it doesn't disrupt the flow. It's just like, it's the same thing I said about Hellblade 2. Like, just the pacing of the game is wrong. If the pacing was more fine-tuned, I think I'd have far less complaints. But yeah, it's just, I wouldn't recommend people playing it, honestly.
Okay.
If you want to play it, go right ahead. But I'm reluctantly seeing it through. I'm not enjoying my time. It's just boring.
Sam, now I have to ask, are you going to go to Black Myth Wukong at some point this year?
Ooh, that's a good question.
This year, probably not.
Not going to try and sneak it in for Game of the Year discussions?
Unlikely.
Okay.
And it's certainly a game I want to get around to, but I think that with the rest of this year lined up and IGN projects that will consume a lot of my time in the next couple of months, and just some backlog stuff that I want to get through, I don't know that it will rise to the top of my priority list, but it is certainly, it's not at the bottom of my backlog by any metric. It is sort of middle of the line, but there are certainly things above it that I haven't gone to yet.
Okay. Sounds good. Taylor, what have you been playing?
So
there's only one right answer here.
It hasn't been Astro. Again.
Bree, what have you been playing?
Wait.
Nothing.
Wait. Sam, you need to get an Awala. I'll say it again. Okay.
Sam, get an Awala.
You just
Sam,
said,
I'll send you an Awala.
You're saying made up words.
Owala. Owala. O is in Oliver. W is in Waldo. A is in Apple. L is in Larry.
Llama.
A is in Ant.
So
Anna.
I appreciate the effort you're putting in right now, but that still doesn't clarify at all what you're talking.
It's a water bottle.
It's a water bottle.
Right.
It's a water bottle we've told you about multiple times, Sam.
That's a sippy straw.
The interesting thing, I have a water bottle here.
Yeah, but we want you to have a different water bottle.
And in green, and it leaked.
That sounds like a problem with.
I saw that water bottle, and then it was like, oh, when you flip it closed, it doesn't seal all the way. So somebody had like a spider that crawled into the mouthpiece.
Yep.
No, not like that. Like you can see.
Anyway. So at work, things are tumultuous, and I might be laid off within the next few months, and it's kind of thrown me for a loop on how I should be spending my money or not. That's why I've held off on buying Astra up until this point. I think I'm going to purchase it anyway, but I haven't yet because of that, because I didn't come to a full decision of when I would be buying it, playing it. If it wasn't for that, I'd be playing Astra right now. So I said, I switched gears, and I'm saying to ask myself of what games that I own that I haven't played, which is many, especially on PC, maybe do I want to give a shot. With that said, I went over to my friend's apartment yesterday, and not yesterday, on Sunday, and we watched Candyman. Good movie, 1992 Candyman. Good horse. Have you seen Candyman?
Mm-hmm. Tony Top.
Or you've seen it? It's worth it.
I have not seen it.
It brings race into horror into, I think, progressive ways, and I think it's cool. Especially for the 90s.
Heard of Get Out?
Before the Peel era, of movies. I saw Get Out. That was good. I still need to see Nope and Us. But anyway, so after that, we decided to play. She was like, what if we play Outlast? And I'm like, uh-oh. Outlast. So we started playing Outlast Whistleblower. And I never played Outlast. And after I played, we finished it up until the point where you enter the mail ward, for people who know what that is. And on Reddit, everyone's like, no, don't play Whistleblower until after you play the first game. It's major spoilies. I don't know. I feel like I didn't get spoiled that majorly. Maybe in retrospect, if I go back to the first game, I would have, but I saw some, okay, I'm not, there was some character named The Groom who I had to deal with. Other than that, some special machine, which seems like it made people crazy. I don't know if that was like, I just said big spoilers for Outlast main story, but it doesn't seem like doesn't seem like there was some big aha moment that got exposed to me. At least not yet in the DLC. That got me thinking, oh man, Outlast seems like it's be a game I could play. That seems fun. Because I thought playing Whistleblower, I thought playing in any Outlast game, I would be scared to hell. But I was more curious and like, I'm being chased now. How do I get out of it? But it's a really fun premise, right? You're the only way
I
to
don't
give
know
yourself...
if I'd play Outlast 2 though. Outlast 2 is really scary.
Have you guys played Outlast 1?
Mhm.
I've played 1 and 2.
Ooh, okay.
Personally, I think that like 2 is a lot scarier than 1. I don't know if Sam feels the same way or not, but I think 1 you can probably get through. I'm actually a little bit shocked that you're like, oh yeah, this isn't too scary. I still think that the first game is scary.
I'm playing Whistleblower, not the first base game. Maybe the first base game is scarier than Whistleblower. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, not that I think that the game would be too scary for you by any means, but I do think that they are definitely scary games.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But I know the premise is really fun where you make light by putting up your camcorder and you're a journalist and you're trying to learn about, there's like documents I picked up and lore, and it's not just run away from the monster. There's a world that's been built around you, and and I'm trying as a journalist to figure out what once was, and that's pretty
Definitely interesting premise.
It's a really cool motivation.
Yeah.
It's not just scary. I'm weak. Get away from me.
I also think that Outlast doesn't like I know that there are other games that do this, but I do think that I find like the lack of combat in Outlast interesting.
Right. It's all running.
Yep.
And hiding. I found it funny. There was a segment where I was There was a segment where I was it must have been scripted, where I went to hide in a locker, and then the enemy comes up, picks up the locker, and then starts carrying it or like pushing it towards another location. I'm like, well, they didn't just come out and kill me. He said, no, I'm going to literally take you and the container and push you somewhere else. So I thought that was funny. But anyway, besides Outlast, I started Ace Attorney.
Ooh.
The first game.
Fun stuff.
Have you guys played Ace Attorney?
Uh-huh. Not all the way through, obviously. I never finish games.
I'm in episode 2. So I'm trying to solve the mystery of Mia Fey. Let me tell you, this game is thirsty. All right, guys?
That's so true.
Oh my God. There are times in the stand when a witness is someone with boobs, their chest is just going up and down.
Yeah.
And that's their gesture.
I can relate to that. Sometimes my boobs just start jiggling randomly. I'm like, damn. The jiggle
and she has like the most cleavage.
Yep.
And it's implied, I think she's a sex worker. I'm pretty sure that's the implication. Either way, everyone's hot. Prosecutor's hot. Detective's hot. Phoenix Wright's hot. Yep. But I failed my trial yesterday once before I did it again and finally got to the right answer for presenting evidence. Because for those who don't know, you have a health bar, quote unquote health bar in trial in Ace Attorney. And if you present the wrong evidence, I think it's 5 times within one trial, you lose and go back to your most recent save.
Yep. I think that's like Ace Attorney is like a game that really you have to pay attention.
Yeah.
To like all of the little details, and you actually have to put time into like the investigation and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's fun.
So that was fun. Other than that, I played Mario Party Superstars with my friends last night. Mario Party's fun, dude. It is. Now maybe I'm like, ooh, Jamboree's coming out. Wonder how that's going to be.
Sam will never understand.
Sam, you must understand the appeal of Mario Party. We can play it online, guys.
He doesn't have a Nintendo Switch.
Oh my God. Well, the new Helldivers update came out. I heard they increased the damage on the thermite grenade from 100 to 2,000.
They buffed everything, like everything.
That
we
sounds
can,
fun.
So we can do like level 7 missions and not get obliterated, perhaps.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Have they released a new race of enemies, or is it still Terminids and automatons? Okay.
No, they keep teasing it, and small things in game happen every now and then that suggest very clearly that they're coming. It's just a matter of when. So I wouldn't be
Gotcha.
surprised if technically within a couple of days of recording, they are in the game.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I'm also this close. I'm gonna do it. Resident Evil 2 is $10 on PSN for the 1000th time. I'm gonna
The remake?
do it. Huh?
The remake or the original?
Oh, remake.
Mm.
I mean, according to Reddit, I should be playing RE1, then RE0, then RE2,
Ignore all that.
and I'm like, you know,
Just play RE2 remake.
I could go back to games with tank controls, or I could just play excellent remakes.
RE2 remake is incredible. I love that game so much.
Yeah, I don't know. After playing Outlast, I have this newfound confidence last Sunday where I'm like, what if I can be the Resident Evil?
I think you could.
Even though I dropped Resident Evil 7 halfway through, I think I might come back to that one day. And I will prevail.
I really don't think. I think that like 7 and 8 are more scary than like 2 and 3 remake.
Because they're
2 and 3
third-person
remake is
different.
just, it's third person, and also like the enemies are not super scary.
Okay.
They're
Fair
more
enough.
gross than anything.
But
I heard Mr. X is terrifying, apparently.
yeah,
I don't think he's scary. I think he's annoying as hell.
It'll be fun. And what anxiety? There's some right timer and there's some big earthquake-like stuff, and it's like, I gotta run away. Should be interesting. We'll see. See how scared I get.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to play Astro, but I need to check in with myself and figure out how I'm going to spend my money short term on Astrobot and otherwise on when it comes to non-essential purchases. But I think I can spare it. I also have some like points or like what's recognition points at work that I can redeem, like $400 worth of credit that I can redeem. And I'm like, I'll just redeem that and do it. Apparently those are mine. And if I were to die, those remaining points would get sent to my next of kin.
Oh, interesting.
It's interesting that it's like, it's immutable and it's my money. It's not just a currency that they can clear, which is funny. Anyway, maybe I'll use those. All right.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Stop living in fear, Taylor.
Yep, you only live once. May as well live it up.
Mm-hmm.
Denise.
Well.
Well.
Shall we get into it? Oh yeah, sidebar. Bree, you're getting Echoes of Wisdom?
I will be purchasing it.
Okay.
The question of when I will be purchasing it is completely other thing.
Understandable.
I can't decide because I'm going to Utah. I can't decide if I want to try and bring my Switch and play it. My gut is saying no because I'll be annoyed that I stopped playing Astrobot and started playing that. So I'm going to probably finish Astrobot. I want to finish it before I leave, but I'm kind of busy.
You could get a portal and then...
You still have to be in the same house, don't you?
Nope. You just have to make sure your PlayStation's at least in rest mode or on. I think it's rest mode. And then you can do it outside your house as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi. Isn't that right, Sam?
I thought you would be in the same house. That's weird.
You don't have to be in the same house, yeah. You can do it at work or elsewhere.
I don't think I'll be getting a portal unless it's that new edition one.
30th anniversary. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna be looking for that one?
What are the chances that we will be able to grab that one of us will be able to get one?
As we'll talk about later, there's 12,300 units worldwide, I think.
Sam, what do you think? What are our chances?
I wasn't under the impression any of us were going to try to get one. But
Oh, I'm gonna try
Wait, the console or the portal or the controller
anything.
or the bundle?
Anything.
So the bundle comes with everything besides the portal. Yeah.
And a disc drive.
I think that
And a disc drive. Well,
I
if you
think-
get the PS5 Pro thing comes with it. Hold on.
It comes with a cover for the disc drive. Not
There you
the
go.
disc drive.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Bree.
and I was just gonna say I think that like this would be the one thing that would convince me to get a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Wow. See, I guess let's just jump to it right now. So the second story, one of the stories we have on board here is the PS5 Pro 30th, the PlayStation 30th Anniversary Collection, right? Which includes a PS5 Pro console, limited edition bundle with a limited edition of the PS5 Pro, 2 terabyte SSD, and matching limited edition accessories, which is the DualSense wireless controller, the DualSense charging station, the console cover for a disc drive, should you choose to get the disc drive. It also includes the vertical stand and special collector's items, which is an original PlayStation controller style cable connector housing, 4 PlayStation shaped cable ties, a PlayStation sticker, a limited edition poster, and a PlayStation paperclip. And it's in the design of the PS1, right, where you have that. I guess I don't know if matte the word, but you have that gray color scheme with the PlayStation logo has the different colors on it, right? Like the original PS1. That's what it's going here for. And there's also a PS5 digital variant of the bundle with the same inclusions as the PS5 Pro, except the console's PS5 digital, not the Pro. And it releases November 21st, and there'll be 12,300 units of the of the console bundle available, right? So that means, I think that means there's 12,300 of each, the Pro and the regular, not everything in total. I want to say.
No, the 12,300 is specifically for the Pro.
Or sorry, this is of the Pro. So I guess you're right. So I guess the regular console doesn't have that unit limit.
No, I mean, it's still limited edition, so you would assume they will see sales.
Yeah. And they picked the number of units, 12,300, to signify PS1's release date, which was December 3rd or 12/3 in North American date formats. And they're getting ready for pre-order on September 26th for PS Direct, and at other participating retailers where PS Direct isn't available on the 26th, there'll also be pre-orders for the Pro console bundle. Sorry, for the bundles, and then also the PS Portal, like I said earlier, and the DualSense Edge wireless controller separately. And then the pre-orders for the PS5 digital non-Pro starts October 10th. So the Pro pre-orders are September 26th. The digital non-Pro orders are October 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it looks okay because I never was a fan of how the original PS1 color scheme looked, and people say I'm a poopy head for that.
Indeed, you are.
You know, I always have said that about you, Taylor, is that you're a poopy head.
My mom has a story about that, but I guess
God.
it's TMI.
Okay, keep going. I'm interested.
No, we don't need to go down that.
Post show.
Okay.
Post show. Come on, guys.
Did it say what time this is going up?
No, it didn't even say the price, which I thought was aggravating. Please buy this product, and we will not tell you what the price is. I think at least $50 markup from the base console. I'm expecting 100. So the PS5 digital was 400. I think now the limited edition is going to be 500, and I think the Pro is 700 USD. Now it's going to be 800. That's my guess.
I think that there will probably be a markup on the digital edition, the premium, should I say. I think with the Pro bundle, I mean, if they want to go crazy, they can put a premium on it. But if you tally up the base cost of everything in that Pro bundle, you're already looking at over $1,000. So I don't know that they can put a premium on top of that, because then you'd be looking at like $1,100-$1,200, which is a bit crazy. But it's PlayStation, so who knows? Maybe they will do that. I don't know. It'll still sell out regardless, whatever they price it at. So,
Gotcha.
I will say I think if I could just get a controller,
Yeah.
I think I would be very happy with that.
Sweet.
But knowing myself, if like the controller for some reason sold out faster than the console, I'd probably try and buy the console. So
Sell the rest of the parts on eBay and just keep the controller.
I don't think I would. I think I would
joking.
just keep
I don't think
it.
you would. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Shapes of Play create thing?
What is this? No.
I am not gonna buy it because it's like $80, but it's really cool. If you go to Direct, if you go to PlayStation, like the Direct right now, there's like
$80?
there's like this really cool shapes that it's like the sacred symbols, but you can rearrange the sacred symbols to say play, which I think is kind of fun. Seems like something Sam will buy on eBay in like 2 or 3 years.
For
No.
$- like his Hellgas helmet that lights up.
They like pay him. They're like, take it.
They have different versions. They have Shapes of Play Recharge, Shapes of Play Battle.
Yeah, only the one, well, in my opinion, only the one is would be something that I would want. But
The Shapes of Play Battle board looks like something that someone with $1.5 million condo would put on their coffee table.
it does. You're so right. Those are the vibes.
Yeah. Like Sam. He is the mogul
That's what I've always said about Sam.
with the Animal Crossing wallpaper.
Is he's just so rich.
Sam, have you owned a Nintendo console, Sam?
have I?
Yeah. You.
Yeah, in the past, yeah.
Which is?
I mean, we've got multiple Wiis in the house. I have
Wii.
a DS.
I thought you thought the same thing.
I have a DS, a 3DS. There is, I'm pretty sure we still have the 64 somewhere. I'm trying to think if I have.
So you just jump ship after the Wii, really?
I mean, I wouldn't say jump ship. The Wii
Jump
was
ship.
just like a family tangential thing.
I guess after the 3DS, you jump ship.
Yeah, I've never been invested in. I know it's going to sound preposterous, but I've always viewed Nintendo as like this auxiliary thing. That if I want a secondary thing, like a handheld that isn't where I do my main stuff, I will go to Nintendo. But yeah, I just like the idea of having a Switch isn't unappealing to me. It's just like it's so far gone now that there's really not much point.
Metroid. The next Halo game will be on Switch. It's called Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Dread is so good.
It's so good.
Okay, but
God, that game.
So I may just end up getting the Super Switch.
Yeah, good answer.
Just backwards compatible via that.
If it's not backwards compatible, I am quitting.
All the reports
What are you quitting?
have said that it is. So.
I didn't think that far.
Okay. I don't know where I'm gonna put the new one. My little space for consoles is already full, so
You'll figure it out.
yeah.
Yep.
I'll put it on top of my PlayStation instead of that sword.
Yeah. Anyway, who wants to talk about the crux of the episode? Well, I don't know if the crux, maybe it's a thumbnail. these remaster rumors, guys. Oh no, I forgot to put my source links. I'm putting that on now. Anyway. Going once.
I don't mind doing it.
Oh wait, let me. Yeah.
So,
Right,
yes, the remaster, the remake station meme lives on apparently, because on September 18th, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered received an official ESRB rating. They, of course, do not rate games that don't exist. So Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered is coming, and soon. There are also rumors there will be a state of play this week, time of recording. Everyone is saying the 24th. I think that probably makes the most sense. So you announce it tomorrow, time of recording, and then air it on Tuesday. That seems to make the most sense. If not, it's probably a Thursday, but we'll see.
I want it to be Wednesday.
I will also say the 26th is the kickoff to Tokyo Game Show, and they want to do it before then. So I think Tuesday is the most likely. But we shall see. We shall see. Who knows what they're doing recently. And then post the ESRB rating for Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, Jeff Grubb, of course, proclaimed, renowned insider, claimed, quote, an even less exciting remaster, end quote, than Horizon will be coming as well, to which Jordan Middler from VGC implied that it would be a Days Gone remaster via a remark about Astrobot. He quoted, if he was angry that his character is in Astrobot, he's going to lose his mind at this, obviously referencing the fact that John Garvin, the writer and game director of Days Gone, was very upset that Deacon St. John was in Astrobot as a cameo. I guess mild spoilers, but there we are. Yes, so it appears that not only are we definitely getting Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, but we're also most likely getting a PS5 version of Days Gone.
I feel like Days Gone remaster makes more sense than Horizon Zero Dawn.
Does it? It came out later.
That's an interesting take.
It's not that it came out later, it's that they sold like so few copies of it.
They didn't, though. Days Gone sold pretty well comparatively.
Comparatively to Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah, to most of the big hitters. I mean, let me see. I'll do a what on the
Top, what do you think?
Top is just a baby.
As of February 2022, the game had sold 7.32 million units, and it's obviously would have. Jeff Ross confirms Days Gone has sold over 9 million copies. That could have been post PC release, maybe. Yeah, so it's sold at least 9 million copies, which is pretty strong, I'd say. Obviously, it's not a 20 million God of War, Last of Us, Spider-Man, but it's not a lightweight by any means, which I think is why not only that people liked Days Gone, they were upset that it wasn't getting a sequel, but also the fact that it seemed a bit disingenuous from Sony that it was like it's not worth it. Well, that people are saying the game sold well, so you have grounds to make a sequel, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, as of April 16th, 2023, the PlayStation blog confirmed that Horizon Zero Dawn had sold over 24.3 million units.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're comparing like a 7 million or even a 9 million versus 24, that's like a big difference. So that's why I'm saying I think that makes more sense to me, and that they want to make more money out of it with little effort.
Maybe. I probably would still disagree, though, because the thing that confuses me is that if Days Gone isn't an IP that you are intending on continuing, what is the point of re-exposing it to an audience? You can say it's to make money, but if people buy it, that expresses interest in the IP. But you've already stated that you aren't continuing with the IP. So it's like you're bringing back a game that in and of itself fully sequel bait, sets stuff up for the future, and you are going to do nothing with it again after re-releasing it. That seems bizarre to me. Whereas bringing Zero Dawn up to the or close to the fidelity level of Forbidden West makes, like you say, alongside the sales, obviously a lot more sense. I'm not saying your point is wrong about them just milking a little bit of money. That might be what it is, but if that is what it is, that seems very strange because the sheer fact of doing it suggests you think it's going to sell well, which then goes against your argument for why you aren't continuing the IP. Unless, of course, they have retroactively changed their mind on that and Days Gone isn't dead. Which I would be all for. I love Days Gone.
I mean, that's the thing is they can always change their mind. I don't think that we've received any sort of indication that would... Like, I don't think for me that this means that they'll continue the Days Gone franchise. I don't think that... I do know that Days Gone and The Last of Us are different, but I think that The Last of Us is already occupying that space.
I think from an external perspective, yes. Like optically, it's strange to have, or it seems strange to have two first-party franchises running simultaneously that revolve around zombies. But this doesn't matter, but it's obviously that if you play the games, they are fundamentally very, very, very different. But it is a perception problem, I think, like you said, more so than anything else.
Yeah, and I also think that, like, if we're talking about, like, post-apocalyptic kind of worlds, there's also Death Stranding. And again, I know that those are wildly different. It's like, that's clearly not a zombie franchise, but I think if we're talking about, like, a post-apocalyptic space, they would technically be occupying the same space.
You don't even have to stop there, because Horizon.
That's true as well.
Post-apocalyptic. So it is funny, I guess, how many Sony first-party IP currently revolve around a post-apocalypse scenario in different ways. I'm not going to spoil anything because just on the off chance that either of you maybe play it one day.
Poor Sam, all by himself.
But what they set up at the end of Days Gone.
Hey, I'm going to play that game one day, Sam. Be careful.
I just said I'm not going to tell you what it is on the off chance you play it one day.
Well, just by saying that it suggests something spoils it for me. You ruined it for me. And.
I want to hear what you have to say. Keep going.
This might be contentious. I think what they set up at the end of Days Gone is inherently in universe more interesting than anything The Last of Us has done.
I want to play
Days
Days
Gone now. That's not to say
now.
that the narrative is better than The Last of Us, because it isn't. But the road that they paved for what Days Gone 2 could have been, and how it could have really properly differentiated itself from all the other zombie games. It's a real shame that as of right now, it seems that we aren't ever going to follow that through. But yeah, I don't know. Because even if the plan isn't right now to do anything else with the Days Gone IP, if the remaster is happening, which I have no reason to believe it isn't, what if this remaster sells really well? Because the game Days Gone, again, didn't sell badly at all. It had a perception problem, but it sold well, and it obviously launched in a relatively rocky state, which got it the slightly lower review scores, which is probably what off-put Sony more so than anything else. But maybe we are in this era now where everything, if it can be a 90 plus, that would be excellent. But when we're shifting away from the live service stuff and we're banking more on IP, Days Gone has built itself up as a bit of a cult classic. I know that's disgusting to say about a game that came out in 2019, but it has become more and more popular, I would say, over time as more people have been exposed to it. Again, nowhere near the other behemoths in the IP roster, but maybe there is something that if this remaster sells very well, maybe Sony does become more open to exploring Days Gone in some way. Maybe not a full-blown Days Gone 2 sequel with hundreds of millions of dollars pumped into it, but maybe something with the IP could be interesting. Bend isn't working on it. If we are taking them at their face value, because they say they're working on a new IP. But I'd love to be wrong. I would love for Ben's next game to be Days Gone 2, personally, but I know that's not going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that it probably wouldn't be terrible to do a Days Gone 2, but I do think Sony is scared too.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see what happens. You just lost all of that money with Concord.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, it's not in the listing. I will say I don't believe for a second that it was 400 million. Not a chance. No chance. I mean, technically, Sony didn't pay 400 million because if we are taking that report at its face value, Sony came in after 200 million had been spent. So they spent 200 million, if we're taking that report at face value, alongside the purchasing cost of the studio, which likely wouldn't have been crazy high. But even then, I doubt that reporting, personally. I could be wrong. It could be correct, but
can you imagine having that much money?
Yeah, I don't buy it, but we'll see. Maybe it was just they spun their wheels, but I don't know, Chief. I don't know. Before we move on, though, like the other aspect of the whole remaster rumor and everything, a lot of people are getting frustrated at the concept that is all that Sony is doing. Is remaking games that don't, or not remaking, sorry, remastering games that don't need to be remastered, and that's all that they're putting out. I don't know if either of you had any thoughts.
I mean, I understand the perception, right? Like, they're like, if you're talking about like actual like releases, like they are doing a lot of remasters. Whether like the remasters are needed or not is a whole other conversation, but I think like at the end of the day, they are doing a lot of remasters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like from a perspective of like, we don't know what's coming next from PlayStation, like we have guesses, but we don't actually know a lot of like what's coming next. So it's like, if you're not within that ecosystem of like, oh, this is probably what's coming next, or this is what we can look forward to kind of thing. And like Sony isn't announcing anything new. All they're doing is announcing these remasters. I understand the perception. Like, I think that it's like, just more of like a people that are like kind of halfway in, halfway out kind of thing, where it's like they're not fully paying attention, but they're paying attention enough to see that like Sony is doing all this silly stuff. So I don't know.
And Grubb said, I mean, he said he doesn't specifically know what's in this upcoming State of Play, but he did have an opinion that there wouldn't be a lot of first party stuff. So I think again they are running and have been for a little while, but it's only intensifying where they're running into an optical problem where this State of Play comes and it might be that the only first party stuff we get from Sony PlayStation Studios is the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, which I would imagine might actually launch this year. I don't know, but I could see that happening because you don't need a massive marketing.
No, well, because Lego's this year. Would they want to?
Well, sure, but I don't know. It would be very strange, but I don't know if it matters that much
Fair.
to them, like how much of the audience is crossing over. It is again an optical thing of like maybe it's too much Horizon, but even if we say Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered doesn't launch this year, but launches say like early next year, in the first couple of months of next year, that is still very, very close to Lego Horizon. So I think either way they do it, it might be it's going to be a bit of an optical problem. I just think maybe it's something that they just throw in to bolster the Pro launch. That right off the bat, launch day, you have this thing that if you already own Zero Dawn, you can pay the $10 or whatever to upgrade to the remastered version. If not, you can buy it outright. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we're looking at, right? Where they're like, oh, Horizon Zero Dawn remake. Here's another look at Lego Horizon, and here's all the third-party stuff by.
Yeah, and I don't. If the Days Gone thing is real, we don't know if that is also close to being done or not.
I hope that they don't announce two remasters in the same like state of play.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I mean.
As long as the releases are staggered, I don't care.
They could run into a real optical thing where the first-party studios haven't talked for so long.
Optical to who?
The majority of them.
Us or shareholders, right?
Both.
Sure, but
they really care about the perception amongst the press, so long as the shareholders are happy.
No doubt, but there is you just have to look across the pond at Xbox to realize that there is a threshold where if you have an optical problem amongst your core consumer base, it will actively damage the brand. And I can't believe for a second that Sony isn't smart enough to know that. And I think they are giving their first-party teams a lot of rope to not announce their stuff before they are confident of when it will hit.
As they should, but also at some point.
That's what I mean. They're reaching the threshold where the optical problem is becoming a bit too big to ignore if this state of play happens, where they had the state of play earlier in the year and they, to be fair, debuted Concord, showed it off, and then fully revealed Astrobot. And it was only a few months until that game came out, which is great that we didn't have to wait for ages to get Astrobot. It was just a few months.
Rest in peace, Concord.
Indeed. So that could be how they're approaching things now. But if they have this state of play and all they announce is remasters of games that most people argue don't need remasters, they're going to have a problem. Even if that does happen, though, I will say, referring back to the first thing we talked about, it is PlayStation's 30th anniversary in December.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any world where we leave this year not hearing about some first-party stuff. Whether that is in the state of play, which we still don't technically know yet, in Tokyo Game Show in some capacity, which I doubt, but maybe they do some announcement there, not necessarily a blowout, or at the Game Awards. I think they have to say something, because otherwise when?
Well,
because are you going to wait until like May or June of next year to do a showcase? I don't know.
They have to reveal those two at some point.
Yep. No, go ahead.
That's all I was going to say. If that game's slated for release, at least by end of Q2 next year, they need to show it now.
Assuming, of course, it is coming out next year. Which you have to imagine it must be.
I will say, we at least know that we won't see anything from Naughty Dog this week. So,
well, I mean, we don't know that.
No, we don't know that. But since everything at Naughty Dog leaks,
I see. Maybe they've
They plugged
tightened up
the
that,
leak.
plugged the hole. Yeah.
I sure hope so, because damn.
Where's the leak? The leak. Yes. Some of you had leek soup before.
Oh, leek
Yeah.
soup is so good.
I haven't.
Oh my
I should do
God.
that.
It's really good.
The only other thing I'd say, and it's not listed in the news, but
The news.
Jeff Grubb did say, and I think it is a salient point worth making. How much it matters to you is subjective, but he did say that these remasters, more so than anything, are happening because it is a very effective way of killing two birds with one stone, not only in plugging a content gap if you have one, but also it is a way of having new developers, new hires at these studios cut their teeth on a project before jumping into the big thing. So
That makes sense.
The groundwork, the game is already made, right? It is just going in, getting used to the engine, tweaking, upgrading things, knowing how very specific, intimate things can be improved. And that is a way of acclimatizing people to not only working within the studio, but also working on the types of games that studio makes. And also, if there is a proprietary engine, acclimatizing themselves to that as well. That is not defending the fact that they aren't showing anything new alongside the remakes, because I think if they did do that, if they announce new stuff alongside these remasters, it's a non-issue. But that is something to keep in mind. And I also think that a lot of people think that these remasters take far more time and resources than they actually do. Like, all of Guerrilla isn't working on this Horizon Zero Dawn remaster.
Mm-hmm.
All of Bend or whoever is doing the Days Gone remaster isn't working on the remaster. It is a small splinter team within the studio, and
Yeah.
it isn't. These projects happening isn't delaying the next big game from these teams. It's not.
Yeah.
So, I know again, it's an optical thing, and that is a real, tangible thing that is consequential. But I also I'd err people to not completely lose their minds.
I've already lost mine, so any recommendations there?
No, just ride the wave. That's all I can say.
Fair enough. At least I get some like stories out of it or something, maybe. Taylor, how would you feel about moving to listener questions?
Yeah. Woo! We got a couple this week from. Bree, do you want to read them?
So they kind of work hand in hand, but the first one is from Kyle. We have instead of a Days Gone remaster that no one wants, what's a remaster that you would pick instead? And then he specifically said besides Bloodborne, because he knows that that's really what we all want here is a Bloodborne remaster. I should have worn my t-shirt that says remaster the game.
Next year is the 10th anniversary, what I'm saying.
April, I think next year is 10th anniversary, correct?
So basically what I'm hearing is that they're remastering it. I'm gonna pretend. The other one we have from Brandon is what's a PS1 franchise you think should be rebooted? What's Tender?
I think he meant to type should return or be rebooted, but I don't know.
And then he said all I want from State of Play is more Dynasty Warriors info and Dragon Ball Sparking. Okay, so do you guys have anything like PS1 specific franchise that you want to put back? Do you have any remasters that you think would be cool?
That I would. I think Sam and I had a similar conversation last week in the post show.
In terms of remaster, I mean, there's very easy, obvious ones for me. Like I would say you could remaster the Killzone trilogy, you could remaster the Resistance trilogy, you could
Infamous
remaster
duology.
Infamous 1 and 2. Anything, I would say any of their core franchises from PS2/PS3 is something I would want. That includes like remastering God of War 1 and 2. I'd take that. You wouldn't really need to do 3.
I'd take a remaster of The Last of Us.
That's the
Just
rear
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wait.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I would as well, actually, thinking about it.
Let me spend more money. I will give you guys 2. I think that some Castlevania remasters and or remakes would be really cool.
Especially the 3D ones, Lord's Shadow, stuff like that.
Symphony of the Night is the one listed specifically for PS1 to
Does
kind
that
of
need to be
cover.
remastered? It looks so good still.
It does, but I also think that it would be fun to have like maybe not even a remaster. I think that one would be cool as like a remake.
Wow, that would be a bold task.
Yeah, for sure. I was looking through the list of like the most popular like PlayStation 1 games.
Metal Gear Solid 1, I think, comes to
We
mind.
have, so there's Metal Gear Solid, there's Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil 2, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Silent Hill. So a lot of these are already being remade or are franchises that still exist, such as like the Tomb Raider, Twisted Metal, stuff like that. So I think a lot of these Spider-Man, a lot of these are covered. I will say I would love to see Dragoon again. I don't know what that would look like, but I would love to see The Legend of Dragoon. I would love a full remake that's like not turn-based combat. So that would be my other one because I thought that game was so cool when I was a kid.
I would agree with all of those. There are 2 that I can think of off the top of my head that I'd love to see. One is a very well-worn thing for a lot of people recently. I do think Dino Crisis has a place to come back in some capacity. Capcom on fire recently, past several years, and also remastering/remaking a lot of their old stuff. So to have a sort of not survival horror, but horror-based game with dinosaurs, there's not really anything like that. So that could be cool. I just thought of a third one. I will say Siphon Filter as well.
I was thinking about Siphon Filter.
I've said that before, that like doing a full-blown Siphon Filter game on PS5, like, because Splinter Cell has been gone for so long, there is a real void in terms of the espionage spy action games. And you've got like Perfect Dark happening on the Xbox side now. But for PlayStation, I think that's an easy resurrect. Again, you don't have to go crazy with it, but that would be cool. And then the third one I would say is Ape Escape. For various reasons.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Bring it back to the modern day.
Yes, that famous PlayStation 1 game.
I don't think I ever played Ape Escape.
Ape Escape.
What is that name for the game? Oh, Croc. Can I get a remake of that too? Remaster, whatever.
What is Croc?
Croc.
Crocodile?
No, it's just called Croc.
Legend of the Gobos.
Yeah.
Isn't that happening?
Is it? Sam, don't you dare.
Yeah, Croc Legend of the Gobos is finally getting remastered. Coming out later this year.
Are you being serious?
Yeah. 28th of August 2024, a remaster of the classic game It's releasing in late 2024.
Oh my god, it's on Forbes. Oh my god. I'm really excited, you guys. Okay.
I'm gonna cheat and say Uncharted Golden Abyss from PS Vita. Bring it forward.
You guys, I don't think you understand how excited I am about this game.
What's the game about? What do you do?
You just play this like Croc and he just like I don't know, he just walks around. It's just like a 3D platformer kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Sam, you just made my day. Thank you.
I will say, you saying Golden Abyss, Taylor, actually raised an interesting point that not a lot of people are talking about that happened in this past week.
Oh yeah. Vita remaster.
Yeah, Freedom Wars is coming back. And it's been licensed out to Bandai Namco, I think, is doing it. Which not only means that there is, and Freedom Wars, people that don't know, is a PlayStation-owned IP, so they've specifically licensed it out. So that means that not only could something specific like Golden Abyss, maybe by some external second or third party team, come back for PS5, but also that suggests that, and you could, I guess, be reading into this a lot, but that does suggest that PlayStation is open to licensing out IP where it makes sense, or where a prospective partner has a good pitch. So that could mean that other dormant/dead IP could come back, not from within a PlayStation studio, but externally, which is exciting. Like, not a lot of people care about Freedom Wars. I mean, apparently it's very good, but if that logic can be applied to other IP that they own and are willing to just license out because they don't want to do anything with, that's exciting.
I do have to read you guys this comment because it cracks me up. So I went to the trailer of like the remaster for Croc. And it said Gex and Croc making a comeback. Meanwhile, Banjo and Kazooie and Conker are locked in the Microsoft basement, which cracked me up because rest in peace to that franchise. You know what else, you guys, that I really think that there should be a remaster of, since we're manifesting now, apparently? You'll never guess. Mort the chicken.
Nope. It's okay.
Mort the chicken.
Mod Nation Racers.
Oh my god, you guys, we need Mort the chicken.
Astro Kart. Telling you.
It could work. Depends on what they want to do with the IP. Whether they want to explode Astrobot out like that, or whether they want to keep it, narrow and just go with the platformers. I can see the logic behind either. I don't know which I prefer, to be honest.
Okay, you guys, I just found something out. So there's a game called Pizza Tower. Never heard of this game. Doesn't really matter. But apparently in this platformer, in one of the first levels in the second world, Mort the chicken is a playable character.
Interesting.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Pizza Tower's pretty popular. Did the rounds last year, I think.
Okay. I do see somebody here that says that they were a developer. I don't know if I believe them or not, but they said they were a developer on Mort the Chicken, and they said they're working on a reboot. I'm going to pretend that this is true, you guys.
Mm-mm.
Kingsfield remake.
That's not a bad shout. FromSoft go right back to their roots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I really want. I know people are like, oh, like there's already been a remaster. I'm being serious when I really actually want a remake of Dark Souls 1. Like I actually want a remake of Dark Souls 1. I want to see like Anor Londo specifically in like the Demon Souls kind of art style.
and Dark Souls 2. You want that to come back. You love Dark Souls 2.
I've never played it. I don't know.
Sam hates it.
It's not great.
Anyway, I think we'll move on to
Any
the
hoozles.
the posty toasty. This was the post show.
Okay.
But thank you all so much for listening. You can find us at YouTube, Save the Game Media, Twitter, Save Game Media, Discord. Links are all in the show notes. Where can people find you, Bree?
You can find me at Fabulous Brianna, FabulastBreanna.
All right, Sam.
Anywhere and everywhere at Sam Heaney, Heaney.
All right, you can find me on the Discord at Taylor, and on PlayStation at Mr. Carter9, MrCarter9E. So yeah. Otherwise, see you in the post show, everyone. What?
I said bye.
Bye.